Hey everyone, it's Cece. So today we're going to be learning how to do this beautiful black smoky eye. And I also added in how to do winged eyeliner because I know a lot of people don't know how to do that. And my one friend, she's like, hey, you don't know how to do winged eyeliner, help me out here. She has this one event thing for school. So I'm like, okay, well, might as well add it in the video because I'm sure there's a lot of other people who don't know how to do winged eyeliner. So this eyeliner is more thick and this one's more winged out. Excuse the eyeliner on the back of my hand. I always test it out to make sure it's not dried out before I apply. So there are two different types of winged eyeliner here, so you're going to learn how to do both of those today. If you want to see how to do this beautiful smoky eye as well as winged eyeliner, keep on watching. Okay, so jumping right in, I have my base on. I kind of just look blank right now, but we're applying a white matte eyeshadow with an angled blending brush. I'm so pale, it keeps going out of focus. So I'm just, very quickly applying that. It's not really too specific, you just kind of rub it across your lid just kind of as a base shade. And now we're taking kind of a creamy, like a light brown shade, and we're putting that in our crease and outer V with a blending brush, with a thicker blending brush, and we're doing that on both eyes, of course, and we're just going to use that as to start us off because we want to slowly build up. Now I'm going into a still light brown but a darker than the previous brown shade, and I'm doing the exact same thing, putting it in the same area, putting it in the crease and the outer V. With eyeshadow and smoky eyes and stuff like that, you always want to build up slowly with shades, otherwise it's going to look unblended, it's going to look messy, and nobody wants that whenever it comes to their eyeshadow, so it's better to take it slow and steady. And next we're going into kind of a medium brown shade, and we're going to start getting into the darker colors soon, but this is a medium brown shade, and I'm just popping that in the crease and outer V. As you can see, this is a pretty continuous process with the colors, and I keep going into darker and darker browns, and I'm tapping that off so there's not too much excess product, because again, while you're doing smoky eye, if you don't tap off the brush, if you put too much brown eyeshadow in the crease and the outer V, it's going to look messy. It's going to start splotching, and you're going to not be able to blend it because it'll have set into the face and it'll just look messy. That's why whenever building up your smoky eye, at least, you always want to tap off the brush. So now we're going in with a darker, again, brown shade, but now we're getting into the significantly darker colors. And now we're going into this really dark maroon shade, and I'm really tapping that off because whenever it comes to darker colors, you need to slowly build up, because once you mess up, there's no going back. You have to completely start over. You have to completely restart like half of your base around your eyes. And now we're going into this kind of grayish brown shade that's like almost black but not quite, and I'm only taking a very, very small amount of that because we really just kind of want the black to overpower everything, but we also want it to look super blended. So now we're going to be taking an eyeshadow C brush and taking a brown eyeshadow that I used before, and we're going to be putting that under our eye to make the eyeshadow look blended. Remember, not all the way around your eye, just kind of 3/4 of the way, and don't do it too heavily either, so make sure you tap off the brush when doing this step as well. Okay, next we're going to be taking a pencil brush and dipping it in a matte black shade, and we're going to be putting it in the outer corner. This side is not so swift, but it won't matter because we're going to blend it out anyway. Just don't let it get too messy. This side is a lot cleaner. You very quickly kind of dot it right where you want it. And with this one, we're going to use a different blending technique. You can't use the windshield wiper motions for black eyeshadow or dark colors. So we're going to be doing these little swirl motions to try and get the eyeshadow blended out, and it works really well. Just make sure to use a light hand with this. Just use the tips of the bristles to try and blend it out, and that really works well. If you try and be too rough with it, it's not going to blend. Like this eye, I was a little bit too rough. It still looks decent by the end, but I was a little bit too rough and it kind of looks bad. But this eye, I was a lot lighter hand with it, and I blended it out really well. So that eye kind of looks, so the other eye looks really a lot better, but let's just say that's what it'll look like if you don't blend it out properly. So please use a light hand when blending out the black eyeshadow. Okay, so now we're taking concealer in the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and we're taking a eyeliner brush because a lot of people use concealer brushes for their eyeshadows, but for me personally, I feel like an eyeliner brush is a lot more precise. So this is not a cut crease, but it's just going to enunciate the shimmer shade. So we're going to kind of make this little C thing on our eyelid. It doesn't matter if it's super even or not, we're going to blend it out anyway, but we're just doing that real quickly. And so what this is going to do is it's going to make the shimmers more prominent, because if you put a shimmer over the black eyeshadow or the dark colors, it's not going to pop out as much, and we really, really want the shimmer to kind of pop out and stand out from the crowd, because it's kind of an essential part. It'll accentuate your inner corner. So we're doing the same thing with the other eye. We're just, roughly putting it around like the inner corner almost to mid lid, and I'm checking to make sure it can't be completely dry, can't be completely wet either. It has to be kind of a tacky consistency, the concealer, before you apply your next thing. And today, instead of using a shimmer eyeshadow shade, we are going to go in with a highlighting palette, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sun Dip Glow Kit, and we're going to be taking the eyeshadow C brush and dipping into shades Summer and Tourmaline. And the reason we're doing this is make sure you pick we really want a blinding look to draw attention to the inner corner. So just pat that briefly, and so just pat that in briefly, and by briefly I mean pat it in pretty quickly. And so make sure to use a highlighter with kind of a color to it, because some highlighters are just shimmery. We kind of want a little bit of color. So that's why I use Tourmaline and Summer. Summer kind of has more of shimmer than Tourmaline, but Tourmaline has this like kind of purpley color. And now we're taking a blending brush and trying to, blend like the black eyeshadow into the light, because if we spread out the highlight too far, it's just going to completely cover the eyelid. So we really want to try and push the matte eyeshadows into the crease where the shimmer shade is, aka the highlights. And so now I'm trying to blend this out with a brown shade because I spread the highlight a little bit too far, which that's normal, that might happen. Just try and cover it up with some matte eyeshadow. And so next I'm going to be taking the brown shade that I've consistently used, tap off my brush, and we're going to try, and it's a matte brown shade, so just going to be blending that out so the highlight does not get crazy, because again, we don't want it all over the lid. We only want to enunciate the inner corner here. Okay, so now we're going to be taking the e.l.f. Felt Tip Liquid Liner, and I'm just testing that on the back of my hand to make sure it doesn't dry it out. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take from the corner of our eye and move a line up towards the tail of our brow. Now for a thicker wing, you kind of have to slowly slope down. You kind of have to like make the slope not as dramatic as you go down into your eye to make the eyeliner. So this is going to be a thicker liner. So you have to make the slope, like how there's like a slope there because it gets bigger than smaller. You have to make that less dramatic if you want a thicker eyeliner. And so the trick to getting a very winged out eyeliner is going from the very end of your eye, going up in the direction that the tail of your brow is in. That's the key right there, the tail of your brow, right there. And so then you pull up as far as you want, but don't go too crazy. And to make a more winged out eyeliner as opposed to thicker, you want to make the slope a lot more dramatic. But you can make the wing as long as you want, pull it up as far as you want. Just make it in the general direction of the tail of your brow. And so you see how the slope is more dramatic on the eye I'm doing right now. The slope is far more dramatic, which makes the eye look a lot more winged out. So I'm trying to fill the rest in. So you first do the wing, and then you try and create, and then you kind of complete the slope with the inner corner and then connect it to your wing. And I'm just touching that up a little bit there. Okay, so now we're going to be using the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. I need to get a new one of these soon. I'm almost out, and I am going to be applying that to my lashes to give them kind of a fanned out effect for this look. And we're going to be applying them to the bottom lashes to kind of enunciate the whole smoked out look. I don't always apply mascara to the bottom lashes. It's not my favorite thing to do. But with this look, it definitely calls for it, so that's what we're going to do today. So I'm just twirling that around, and we're going to be taking kind of the curve of the mascara wand, and we're going to be putting that on our bottom lash. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please like, comment, and click that subscribe button. Have a great day. Bye!